special situations, which from my point of view is something very important. And the last chapter is about something about the new element we have in handball, the 7 players, a rule which was introduced in our game 4 years ago now. And this has changed the game in a special way. So I want to show you some examples for video and speak about the options and what can be done in this element, 7 players in attack and defense too. So starting with the first chapter, I want to start with a little bit old video. I'm sorry about the quality, but this is quite old. And I just happened to record this by chance. It was during the European Championship. I think it was in Sweden 2004. And it was France, white team in defense, against Iceland, red team in attack. And some elements or something happened on the court, which was so strange, and I was so happy to get this this clip, because when you see how the defense is acting, especially one player, you see something very, very funny. So the special player we want to focus on is the, at that time, best defender of the world, Jackson Richardson. He was now defending in the position against the right back player. So he is here. And now you can see him moving when the ball is circulated along the goal line, goal area line. And finally, he's defending against the wing. But the ball is circulated more to the other side. So he continues running along the goal area line. And finally, he's against the wing player on the other side. So this is really funny. But to be honest, this happened really by chance. It was not a system of the defense in that moment, but you could see the fighting spirit of all defenders and especially of this very special player. So sometimes in special situations, the defense needs to react in or act in a special way, or like we say in some situations, emergency breaks every rule. So there are some rules for special situations, but finally, in some situations, those rules, they don't work. Then you have to find some new ways to move. Okay, this was the introduction. And now we come to the basic situation that the team has with 1 player plus from the psychological side. So on one side, this is something which is not helpful in defense, because sometimes the players in defense, they say, oh, we are 1 player plus. And then some of those players say, oh, I don't have a personal opponent now because my player is suspended for 2 minutes. I don't have to defend. If 1 player is doing this, it's not very nice. But if 2 players are doing this, it's just funny, because in that moment, 2 are sleeping, 4 defenders only active, but 5 players in attack active, and then it just changes a little bit. So it's not possible, it should not be allowed that the players, even if they are 1 player plus in the defense, they reduce their activity and sometimes they go for a sleep. So everyone has to be active, no matter whether the defense is in normal situation, 6 against 6, 1 player less or 1 player plus. In attack, the situation is quite demanding, because everybody wants or expects the team in attack with numerical superiority that they make at least 1 goal during the 2 minutes when the opponent's team is 1 player less on the court. So there's a certain kind of pressure to be successful at least 1 time in attack. And for this 1 goal, there is a maximum number of 2 attacks given. because as you can think, when you go to attack, you have one chance, then you go back to defense. And the players from the opponent team, which are one player less, they will circulate the ball. They will not go to your goal very actively. They will try to play down the clock. And then maybe after a certain moment or a certain time has passed, you will get into possession of the next ball. You will have the next attack, which is your second one. But if you don't score in this one, even in the next time opponent is in attack, the 2 minutes will be over. So in that moment, you have only 2 attacks to score at least one time. And this gives a little bit more pressure to the team in attack. A third point is that normally you expect a defensive defense because they are one player less. So this is something which gives the attackers good chances, but take care, not every time the opponent's defense must use this defensive strategy. They can use an open defense too. And on the other side, attack normally is prepared a little bit. They use special combinations in attack with one player plus. But to be honest, I don't like this idea too much. You will see it afterwards in one of the next slides, because this puts the player in attack more under pressure. Because if you have some special combinations for attack, and especially if they are a little bit more complicated, then the pressure rises because you have to make one goal. You have only 2 attacks. Now using this special element, this special combination, and now it must work. So if then a mistake happens, it's not very nice for the team, and it's not very nice for the mentality and the way the players deal with that. So that's why always, or to be in the situation with one player plus is not always an advantage. On the other side, we have the team that is with one player less on the court. So normally the situation is 5 against 6. This team, first of all, knows each player has to fight because they have to compensate the one player who is missing. In that moment, everyone must do 1 or 2 steps more compared to the normal situation. It's not enough to deal with your personal opponent. You have to play against your and maybe another opponent. Then you can compensate, or your team can compensate, the one player less situation. Good is that in that moment, there's nothing left to lose because everyone expects to score easily against the defense, which is one player less. But this gives the chance to the players in defense to do something crazy, exceptional to the attackers, and to give some more pressure to them. Especially if the defense is not using the defensive strategy, but a special type of defense which tries to trap the attackers, because they don't expect the special type of defense. They are expecting the defensive way of defending. And if in that moment attack is not successful, maybe they lose the ball, then the players in defense, one player less, should try to go for fast break. It's no problem to finalize a fast break with 1 or 2 players involved, even if you are 1 player less. But if the attack, which is 1 player plus, is making a mistake, and then they start to discuss and they ask what has happened now, because we are in a better situation now, they forgot to run back. And this is the moment you must kill them by using fast break. So sometimes it's okay to get in possession of the ball and go to the attack easily and play down the clock. But if there is a chance for fast break, try to use it, because this will pressurize the opponent's player even more. So it's not forbidden to go for fast break, even if you are 1 player less. Okay, Now, from this more psychological aspects, we come to more the strategical aspects in attack and defense. So we go now through the different situations, and the first is what is happening when the attack is with 5 players against 6 only. So the first decision you have to make in as a coach is which position you don't want to use. So you can use an attack without one wing player. So you have 3 backward players, 1 pivot and only 1 wing, for instance. Or you can use attack combination or positioning without pivot. So you use the 3 backward players and the 2 wings and nobody in the pivot position from the beginning of the attack. These are the 2 options from my point of view. For sure, you can start with 2 wings, 1 pivot, and 2 backward players only. But this is something I don't think it's very useful, because in the moment you start with 2 players in backward only, maybe attack steps out one of them. There's only 1 player in backward left, and then ball circulation and playing the ball is not so easy. So that's why I basically prefer every time to start the attack with the 3 players in the backward position and then play without 1 wing or play without pivot. Second is that the players in the wing positions should be integrated, and they should try to surge the gap between between 0 and 1, between the baseline and the first defender. This is something a little bit experience from very many matches I saw and I was coaching in, that if the attacking team is 1 player less, sometimes the referees think that they have to give some compensation to that team with 1 player less. Maybe they are not sure whether the 2 minutes suspension was really a correct judgment. And then if the player in the wing is using the one-on-one outside move, he is moving in a situation to the weak side or to the against the throwing hand. But very often, stupid defenders, they make some mistakes and they touch their arm, and so the referees have the tendency to decide for penalty, 7-meter throw, maybe in combination with 2 minutes, and then the game or the situation just changes. So in that situation, one-on-one on the wing, using the outside move from attackers to the gap 0 and 1, there is no help possible from another defender, from a second defender. So that's why it's clever to integrate the wings and to give them the task using the one-on-one situation outside. A third point is that the attack can change, especially if you play without pivot. But this movement should not come from the ball side, because on that side, the defense is aware. The defense is active because the ball is on that side. Running in should come from the help side, from the ball away side of the defense, because very often, especially on the side away from the ball, the defense is sleeping. And then it's a real nice element of surprise if a player is coming from that side. Okay, now the other way around. What happens if the players in attack are 1 player plus, attacking 6 on 5? In that situation, the wingers should use the gap 0 and 1, 2 to open the space and to draw the wing defender to the side on one side, on the other side. Because if there are only 5 players and 1 is drawn here and the other is drawn here, the space, the central area is opened. So this is the different strategy to the normal situation, 6 on 6. You remember from our presentations before, in the normal situation, the attack to the gap between first and second defender was the basic idea of the wingers, to break through and to draw the defender number 2 and then pass and create superiority in the central area and create space in the central area. Now in the 6-on-5, it's just the other way around. Move to the gap, 0 and 1, and open the space. And consequently, the player in the backcourt position on that side is moving to the gap 1 and 2. So the defense is drawn to one side and the space is given on the other side. Okay, then something very important, coming back to something we had before, in a 6-on-5 situation, from my point of view, you don't need a special conception. You use the same conception, you play in the same way you play 6 against 6. Because if something is successful in 6 against 6, if you can create a game advantage in a 6-on-6 conception, it will for sure be the same way successful in 6-on-5. So special conceptions, from my point of view, they are not needed. If you have a good conception which is working successfully 6-on-6, use it in 6-on-5 in the same way, and it will be even easier. Because defense is one player less. But, sorry now, okay, what is coming here? Just one moment, must come to the correct one. So, use the space to the gap 0 and 1. Do the same like 6-on-6, and finally play with patience. This is something very important in that moment. There is time given to the players in attack. You don't need to come to the final situation of the attack after, let's say, 3 or 4 passes. Move the defense to one side, draw them, and then pass to the other side, find the free player in a good position. If the defense is moving very quick, shift the game back to the side you were coming from before. So don't try to use situations, or your players should not try to use situations which are not really free and in which they are not really free. Wait for a real advantage and then finalize the attack. And sometimes this can be very easy, as you can see from this example from the World Championship 2015. It's from the match Iceland in defense in blue against Algeria in white team. And the Algerian team is in superiority, 1 player plus. And first of all, you can see the pivot taking the position between half defender and center defender on the right side of the attack. Now the ball is circulated, and the pivot will set a screen in that position. Now the ball is circulated to the other side, very easy. And center back player, after the pass to left back, he will move into the pivot position on the other side. So now, very nice to see, it's a 3 against 3 on the left side, and 1, 2, third attacker is in the wing position, 3 against 2 on the right side of attack. Left back player now moves with the ball inside central area, so he will draw the center defender. In that moment, the position of the pivot is perfect. He is in the position to have position advantage, second dimension, because he's on the same line as the defender, but the defender cannot stop him without moving inside the goal area. Wing defender is a little bit open to solve the situation 1-on-2, but in that moment, pivot is running free and easily in the center of the court, receiving the ball and finalize the attack. So no chance for the defense. Even in that moment, there's a big space given and a pass to the right wing would be possible too. Now finalizing the attack. So very easy to see how this team solved the situation in a very clever tactical way. Okay, now we come to the defense. If the defense is in a 6-on-5 situation, they are one player plus. In that moment, the wing defenders should force the opponent's wing attackers to the gap 1 and 2, because it's 6 defenders, and these 6 defenders don't want to have the move to the outside. This was the strategy of the attackers before. So the wing defender must take a position and work in a way to push the wing attacker inside. Never allow the outside move, always push him inside. Because inside, double team with the next defender is possible. And still, if we have one attacker against 2 defenders, the rest is 4 against 4. So it's not a problem for the defense, but we can compress the attack to the center, and we can always reduce the space if the wing defenders force and push the players in the wing positions to the gap 1 and 2. So this is the special strategy in defense in that moment. And there are special defense systems the players can use, like 6-0 at the 9-meter position. So all defenders step out. They don't take their basic position at 6 meter. They take it on 9 meter. This is especially possible, or this is possible only, when the attack starts without a pivot, if there are 5 players only. But take care, because running in behind those players from the wings is possible. But with this 6-0 defense at 9 meters, the players in attack, they have to go back, and everyone can see that they are far away. And when they circulate the ball, they don't come so close. So it's very easy to keep them away from the goal, cover and block the way to the goal, and then they are enforced into passive play. Another option is to take away 1 or maybe 2 players which are strong players in opponent's attack. So maybe the strongest shooter or maybe the playmaker. So using a combined defense system like 5-0 plus 1, 4-0 plus 2 is a tactical option. In this 5-0 plus 1, it's a 5-0 against 4 attackers only, because, you know, attack is 5 only. 1 is taken away, and then even 5 players, they have to defend in a defensive way against 4, but these 4 players are missing the strongest attacker. In the 4-0 plus 2, it's the same. It's 4 against 3 in that moment in the zone defense. So bigger space, but still 1 player plus. I personally like this idea of these combined defense systems because, first of all, strongest player is taken away, so the pressure against the opponent is a little bit higher than normal. And second is that in this special type of defense, no one can hide. If you play normal defense, some of the defender will tend to sleep. In that special type of defense, everyone is aware because now they have a new task, they have a new challenge. And finally, our well-known defense system 4-1-1 is possible to be used as a defense system in the 6-on-5 situation. Now, one more example from the World Championship in Qatar. You see now the French team in white in attack, and you can see 5 players in attack only. So they start with left wing, left back, center back, and right wing without pivot. And you can see the Spanish defense with 1 player plus. But this 1 player who is outside is playing in a very nice and active way. So see the movements he is making. And finally, he's intercepting a ball here. So he's starting in a very open way against the center back player, try to push him as far as possible away from the goal. Then he tries to move him outside of the central area. But by the time the ball is given to another position, he switches again. Now he's with the right back player because center defender has run in. And very clever now, no foul, because they want the defense, they want the attack to continuously play, because then the referees must give the forewarning signal for passive play. Now again, he's in the position against the center back player. And now he's sliding back and cutting the ball from the incoming wing. So this was very clever made, very nice way of defending from that player in defense. And now he moves back to the one who is free in the pivot position now, and he is intercepting the ball here. Okay. So on one side, obvious to see, special type of defense system. On the other side, very active movement and really clever made from the defense. Don't interrupt, don't stop the attackers, because if they go for a free throw, they will take the time. They will take some time till they go out of this 9-meter area. Maybe they will execute the free throw not in the correct positions. Okay, please referee, tell me where is the correct position. So this is a little bit clever because they always want to play down the clock. But if they have to play continuously without an interruption from defense, they got under pressure more and more. Okay. Now the final situation we have to talk about is the defense with one player less, 5-on-6. In this moment, again, the idea is to force the wing players to the gap 1 and 2. Because if the wing players move to the gap 0 and 1, wing defender is drawn and the defense is, some defenders in the center are isolated, open space is given. So that's why always the wings must be forced to the central area so that in that moment they have to go to the gap 1 and 2. Second is that very quick movement of all players is needed, shifting to the ball side. So on the ball side, it's numerical equality. Same number of players in attack and defense. You accept the one player less situation as far as away from the ball. But if the ball is moved, everyone has to move to the new ball side to create the numerical equality on that side again. So running fast and fighting spirit a little bit is needed in that moment. There are special systems the players or the teams can use. So one is the so-called 5-0 with wing pressing. The other one is the help side pressing. And there are certain variations of very open and aggressive defense, like a 4-1 or a 3-2. So this is something on one side very risky, but I like it very much because if the attack, they feel a little bit safe and comfortable in the situation. Now we are 6-on-5. We go to attack. They will go back to the 6-meter line. We will circulate the ball. We will prepare our final situation in a very nice way, and then easy shooting and easy scoring. No, don't allow this. Use an element of surprise, and especially an open and aggressive defense system is something which completely turns the game, and then defense is acting, but attack has to react on that. And from the psychological point of view, this is something very, very helpful. So this is why our second chapter is especially about defense in those special situations. What can the defense do if they are one player less in a 5 against 6 from the defense point of view? So, but first, we're going to talk about the other thing. Just forgot it. It's the defense 4-1-1. You know it already. We were speaking about that defense in our presentation about active and variable defense. And from my point of view, this is a very nice system that can be introduced in numerical superiority from the defense side. So we talk now about 6 players in defense and 5 players in attack only, and they are not using the wing position. So in this moment, the 4-1-1 system is something which is really good to handle and really good to adapt, because the situation is now that 4 players, wing defender on both sides, and the 2 inside defenders, they have their basic position between 6 and 9 meters. And we have 2 players in front, number 1 and point defender number 2, that are outside 9-meter position. And in this 4-1-1 defense, the special task of the point defender number 1 is to push and pressurize the center back player as far as possible to the center line to reduce the ball circulation. And the very special task of this defender number 2 is to move in a position in the gap between left back and center back if the ball is on the left side. So by ball possession, left back or left wing, he takes the position here. Or on the other side, if the ball is with the right back or the right wing player. So in that moment, then the defense moves to the ball side, and it's the idea to trap the attacker with the ball in that area here, or if the ball is on the other side, in that area here. And then with the inside defender here and the point defender number 2, which is coming from the side, we have always 2 against 1 situation against backward player who is moving here. And in this 2-on-1 situation, especially in 1 player plus situation, there is no need to make a foul. Like you saw it with the Spanish team before, then you can play using the body only, defending the passes, block the way with your body, or allow a shoot from that very bad situation, or a situation which is not so comfortable for the players in attack, and in cooperation with the goalkeeper, the ball can turn to your side. So that's why I love this 4-1-1 defense very much, because it will trap the attackers in a certain way. Now, defense systems is with 1 player less. The first one is the 5-0 wing pressing. And this wing pressing should be played on both sides. So on one hand, you do this on the ball side. Cut the wing completely. So the basic rule for this defender in the wing position is no pass from left back to left wing, first. And second rule is, if the ball is with the wing, please stop him. Interrupt, neutralize, make a foul. I know this is not very nice, and this is not a good strategy or a nice interpretation of our game, but very often this is really very helpful, because if you do this in the situation with 1 player less, in a very strict and very consequent way, the left back player will never give the pass to the left wing, and on the other side the same is done if the ball is with the right back. So in that moment, the game is compressed on the 3 backward positions. And if, like in the picture here, the players from the wings get nervous and move inside, please, I want to have the ball. This is perfect for the defense, because the space is compressed and the defense can accept the 4 against 3 situation on or in the central area easier. Second element of open wing defense is on the help side. So the player in the wing position on the help side of the defense is not moving in, he is moving in that position here to create a situation 1-against-2. So in that moment, on the ball side, we have numerical equality, and on the help side, we accept the 1-on-2 situation. This is element we have been talking before, and in the situation with one player less, you must do it. It's compulsory to work in that way, because you have to accept that there is one defender against 2 attackers, and the farther away from the ball, the better it is. A second variation of the 5-0 defense is the so-called help side pressing. With the left back player, half defender from the help side is stepping out, pressurizing the movement of center back player of the opponent's attack, and wing defender is doing the same. He's solving the situation 1-against-2 with right back and right wing on the help side of the defense. So on the ball side, again, equality, but defensive defense. On the help side, open defense, 3-against-2, but problems for center back player in timing, when to start, and especially shifting the game to the other side is not possible. So he must move straight, or he must move in that area, and this will help the defense to decrease the space and make it easier to stop the attack. By the time the ball is circulated to the other side, move back here and here, and move out here and here, then the picture is changing from ball side to help side and vice versa. Must be careful in that moment, for sure, because this is, first of all, depending on the position of the pivot. If the pivot is always in the central area, it's perfect, because then center defender is responsible for him. And it depends on wing player, which do not realize the situation that they might run in here and the pass can be given here. But always in that moment, the attack, they have only 2 to solve that situation. And if they don't do it in that short time or in that 2 attempts, okay, then defense is winning. Now, coming to a more aggressive and open system, it's the 4-1 system, and you can see one player in defense moving in every direction. So this is a little bit similar to the movement we saw from our Spanish defense, or from the video of the Spanish defense, where the one defender in front was moving in every direction. So attacking center back, attacking right back, attacking in the gap, or sinking back. Every direction is possible, just to confuse the attackers. So especially with the type of feint movement, this player can be very successful. So for instance, if the ball is with the left back position, move in his direction and immediately stop and move back. So the player never knows whether he can penetrate or not, because he never knows whether this defender will come or not. Sometimes you come and cut, make a foul. Sometimes you come, feint, and go away again. So this will confuse the players in attack immediately. But this player, he must run very fast. He must be even faster as the ball, because the idea is to reduce the speed of the ball circulation in attack. So he must always be 1 step ahead of the ball transportation of the players in attack. But if you can do that in attack or in defense, then one player neutralizes 3 attackers, because they don't know how to play against this one defenders. He's making them crazy. And this helps all the other defenders in that open area here 4, but now against only 3 attackers to compensate the situation. It's no problem to integrate or to bring in a player, especially for this situation only. Because, as you remember, there are only 2 attacks in one player plus situation for the opponent. So in these 2 attacks, he has to run like crazy. After these 2 attacks, change this player, take him out, give him time to rest, and bring in another player. But then you are again in a 6 against 6 situation. No problem from my side. Okay. Now, the last system I want to give you as an example for open and aggressive defense is a 3-2 defense. This is working like a 4-2 defense. We will talk about that later on again. Now, 3 players, wing on each side and center defender against pivot. Basic position between 6 and 9. They move along to the ball side and to the center back position. So if the ball is with the left back, or even better with the left wing, now defense is coming, open defending here, open defending here, and normally we can have or should have open defense from the wing on the help side of the defense. So in that moment, the 1 player less situation is far away from the goal, because it's 3 against 2 are in the backcourt positions against those 2-point defenders here, but they are far away. In the area between 6 and 9 meters, we have 1-on-1 here, 1-on-1 here, and 1-on-1 here, but be careful, very big space given. So especially the pivot must be covered in a very nice way, because if he's running free, there's a lot of space to receive the ball, but not only running free along the goal area line is a problem, running free in that area behind the 2 defenders which are more open, this is very dangerous for the defense, because if the ball is now given to the pivot in that position, he can forward it to somebody else on the help side of the defense. So a give and go cooperation is a very good means against that open defense. That as a result of that, if the pivot is moving up, immediately player has to follow and has to cover him very, very carefully. But this is some type of defense which is really not expected from the opponent's side. So in that moment, it's a real surprise, and they have only 2 attacks to adapt to that. And I don't think that very many teams, when they are 6 against 5, they have a special strategy on their mind what will happen there. So in that moment, defense can be successful. Okay, finally we come to the chapter number 3, which is about the new element, the 7 players we can use in attack now since 2016. It was possible before to use 7 players in attack, but this player number 7 was a goalkeeper. So he must be marked as a goalkeeper. And in that moment, this player had to return to the goal, or this player has to change. So that now with the new rules, new rule, you can go to attack. You can take out the goalkeeper and you can bring in a normal player from the color, like all the other 6 players on the court. So that means that every 7 players on the court can attack, and each of them can step out and organize or start the rechange against the goalkeeper after you have lost the ball or finalized the attack. So this is a special rule, and this is something which is discussed in a lot of articles and researches, what is the efficiency and so on. So I will give you a little bit of my personal opinion in this chapter too. But the first is, from the strategical point of view, the question when to use these 7 players. And at least there are 3 situations a team in attack may use the 7 players. The first is when they have problems in the 6 and against 6 game. So if you are not successful, the game is running for, let's say, 20 minutes and you're 6 goals behind. Okay, you must change something. You can go for a risk variation in attack, in defense, sorry, or you can do something special in attack. And then changing to 7 players, if you feel the problem in the 6 against 6 game, why not? So basically, it's possible, you can do it. Especially when your attack is facing problems against the offensive defense of the opponent. And you can't solve the situation against an open and aggressive way of defending. Then very many coaches try to use 7 players, because with that 7 players, then the defense should go back, or it is expected that the defense should go back, because normally you attack with 2 pivots now, and then the defense must try to come back to the goal area line and cover those 2 players at the goal area line. So that's why, especially against open defense, very many coaches use the 7th player. And as a risk variation at the end of the game, it's possible to use it too. So if you are behind 3 goals and it's another 4 minutes to go only, then first of all, do something to get in ball possession. But it's not enough to have the ball. You must score. And scoring, if it wasn't easy after, let's say, or for the last 55 minutes, in the last 5 minutes, maybe you need to do something special, and then you integrate player number 7. So these are the situations how this can be done. And then we see some, or in the past, teams in international handball, they developed the way of this 7-player attack in a very clear way. One of these teams was the team of Macedonia. They used this against Iceland here in the game in 2017 World Championship in France. And from that video, you could see how really special they used tactical and strategical elements for this type of attack. So then, to have the basic information of that, you need to know that this player, number 7, Lazarov, he's one of the best right-back players in the world. He's a good shooter and he's a good decision maker too. But he's a left-handed player and he's a right-back player. Now, what happened in that game and in other games, the Macedonian team was doing that too. They changed the positions in attack in a way that the normal player, the general player for the center back position, Mikulovsky, he was in the right back position. He's a right-handed player now. And Lazarov, the left-handed player, was coming to the center back position. One pivot on that side, second pivot on the other side. So they try to create on one side a 4-on-4 situation, and on the other side, a 3-on-2 situation. So, but now this player, Mikulovsky and Lazarov, they circulate the ball only between them. So because they are the decision makers. This is what they wanted, to have the solution of those players here and here and here. And finally, right back player, he found the gap. Yeah? So this was one way how they did it. And the special is, if now wing player is coming for help, then the ball goes to the wing attacker who is already on the way to start. Yeah? So right-handed player with the outside move, left-handed player with the move more to the left goalpost will draw the defense apart in that situation. On the other side, if they could not succeed in that small group game here, then left-handed player in center back position could easily forward the ball to the other side. So you see, oh, sorry. Once again, coming to that, okay. So you can see in that moment that left back player, left-handed player on center back position, he has all the options. Now, in that moment, very obvious to see, one-on-one, pivot in a position to receive the ball, left back and left wing. So if this player is going back and playing or taking a defensive position, he will shoot. Always he will shoot. If the pivot is more positioned inside, he can give the ball to the pivot. Now he's forwarding the ball to left back, and this is using the gap between first and second defender. If in that moment wing defender would step out, you see the wing defender now in a position orientated to left back, but not so much open. It's easy with the left hand to pass the ball to the wing. So if normally right back, right-handed player would be on that position, it would not be possible to forward the ball in all those directions. But for the left-handed player, it's easy now to pass to left wing, to left back, to pass to the pivot, and to pass to left wing. And especially because Lazarov is a very good decision maker, this strategy was quite successful for that team. But you see, it's a very tactical element the players use here because they really were focused on how to find the free player. Now, in the last World Championship, Croatia, they did something similar. You see now a different positioning of the two pivots. One pivot far to the one side, the other pivot far to the other side. But Croatia, they circulated the ball very slow because they wanted to find the right moment. They want to find the right moment to pass the ball to the pivot. So the game was very static. Even in the game of Macedonia, it wasn't very dynamic. We didn't see a very fast, high-speed ball circulation. And here it's the same. So you see the player in the center-back position now feinting, making all the moves here, and then finally pass the ball to the pivot. Even more problematic, I think it is obvious here. Bouncing on the spot, feinting a pass, try to cooperate with the pivot here and here. So this is something which is very slow. And you see nothing is happening on the court. And then finally the referees have to stop because the coach was using the green card for the team timeout. If you follow the clock, you see now it's 53:35, and then they start to attack. Now, pass, feint, another pass, feint, another pass, feint here. So nobody's really moving in that moment. Another option here, and again here, and again here. And now, finally, the game is stopped. And it's 53-57. So it was more than 20 seconds, nothing happening on the court. Just see it again here. So 20 seconds, no movement of the player, and very slow ball circulation. And to be honest, this is the reason why I don't like this type of strategical or tactical game without speed. This is something which is only orientated on find the free player in a position and then pass the ball easily to him. So really, I don't like that type of game because a lot of problems appear in that moment. One problem is the slow ball circulation. You saw it. Next is the players are not moving or moving only very slow. So this is something which is not acceptable from my point too. So my point of view is that the ball should be circulated very fast and the players with and without ball should move. And in these examples, you could see they are not moving. Second is that the space in the central area is reduced, especially because of the two pivots. They decrease the space. So very often the pivot only work in a very static way. They try to establish their position and wait for the pass, but they don't move. Backcourt players are not running in because already two players in the pivot position, so another one running in. There's no more space for a third one. Wing players are not integrated, so that's why I don't like this very slow type of game. And we have to see that some problems for the referees and even for the game management appear in that way. First of all the actions in the pivot zone. You remember from our presentations before that pivot working with not very clean movements against the defense trying to push away, pulling the shirt of the pivot is doing the same. So we have this in a 6 against 6, but in a 7 against 6, we double the problem because two players in the pivot zone are now working like that and the defense working against them on one side. And on the other side, there's still only one goal referee to observe both sides, the dirty actions. So from my point of view, this is not very nice for the referees. The positioning for the referees is another problem because if the team in attack is working with 7 players, the goal referee, or sorry, the court referee, the field referee, should always be on the side away from the benches. But if the other team is doing the same, then the referees constantly have to change to go away from the ball, from the bench side, because this is better for the rechange of the goalkeeper. And this rechange of the goalkeeper is not only a problem for the referees and their positioning, it's a problem for the game management too, because then the officials, they always have to take care. The ball is on one side, but what is happening on the other side when the player is coming out and the goalkeeper is going in, whether everything is correct. So we have so many changes of the goalkeeper in, out and in again, that very often problems in that way can appear, which are not in the game, but from outside the game, they are coming. So this is the list of reasons why I don't like that so much. And another problem or another situation is that you can see that from the statistics of the last World Championships, for instance, the efficiency in 7 against 6 is almost really same like in 6 against 6. So there is no special effect that 7 players in attack are really better. It's a small difference only between 6 against 6 and 7 against 7. So why should I use it? Okay, now I have some examples for you that 7 against 6 must not be slow from attacker's side. It's possible to move the players in attack, and it's possible to circulate the ball very quick. This is from a Japanese junior team, and as you see, they use the 7 players too, but they integrate a special move of the pivot coming out, crossing behind the center back, and then they circulate the ball very quick, and finally find the free player in the wing position. So this is a quite good move, because you can see they started with circulating the ball, and then they start with running, coming out, 1, 2, now the next is coming, and the next is coming, and the next. So this is fluent game compared to the examples we saw before. And this is something I can accept as a 7 against 6 attack system. So once again, you can see it here. Tack, 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 and wing is free. On the other side, or in the second half of the game, they played in the same style, and they made a very quick ball circulation. So starting here, and now pivot coming around, integrate the pivot again, and then push to the help side and easily finalizing from the wing. So once again, you see in that moment, again, pivot is coming out. This is the crossing move. But now pivot runs in and penetrates the defense again. So the defense is really drawn to that side, accumulated on that side, and very easy to see the very open space on that side. So now pass, 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 and coming to the free area. And a third one with a nice variation of passing. Once again, pivot coming out, but now defense, chances. But now defense reacting. Coming out. So this is the open defense to cut the pass here. But now the long distance pass immediately is coming to that side, and a very open space, 2 against 1. So very easy to solve that situation. So as you can see, again, here, technical elements, passing, observation, and decision-making are very important. Okay. That team, they had another nice move, which was a screening of the pivots. You can see it here. So 2 pivots now inside, 1 to the right, 1 to the left goalpost, very close to each other. And then a screen and running free from the pivot side. So what they do is, first of all, circulate the ball and make a crossing without ball on the left side. They do this, pass is now, ball is now with the wing, and then they have a crossing, center back without ball, moving to the left back position, left back without ball, moving to the center position. And this draws the defense to that side. But now the pivot from the help side is setting a screen against inside defender here. And in that moment, when the ball is given to the center back position, second pivot is running free and easily finds the gap to the goal. So once again, circulating the ball, crossing without, just to draw the defense attention, and then moving around here. Example from the other side, just the same move, and screen, running free, that's it. So once again, now this is the screen, and pivot number 2 running free in the back. So from this you can see that even with some movement inside the defense or some movement outside the defense, this 7 against 6 can be a little bit more attractive compared to that very static way we saw from the men's team before. Now, the 7 against 6 is first of all something for attackers, for sure. But the defense, they need solutions for that. And from my point of view, there are some defense systems we can use for sure against 7 players. And they are not so far away from what we use normally. First of all, the attack expects the defense to go back with the 2 pivots. This is something we must not accept. We can use offensive defense for sure against 7 against 6. Second is always the defense must know where to accept the 1 player less, far away from the ball or far away from the goal. Both is possible. And another idea, to eliminate the decision maker of the attacker's team. So sometimes, for instance, you can use a 5-0 plus 1. Why not? Then rest of the court is 6 against 5. Normal situation for defense with 1 player less, but strongest attacker and best decision maker is out. And very important, from the defense again, go for fast break or quick throw off, because then maybe the players in attack will change the idea if they receive 1, 2, or 3 empty net goals. Okay, 3 examples for how to defend against 7 players. First is use the 3-2-1 defense. In that 3-2-1 defense, the players should move like we see it here. Center defender on the ball side, responsible for 1 pivot. So half defender stepping out against left back in ball position. Half defender on the help side, sinking back, responsible for other pivot. So in that moment, on the ball side, we have a 2-on-2 situation, normal situation, we can accept. But the 1-on-2 is with the wing on the help side. And this is something we have seen and talked about now so often. This is not very special anymore. So it's altogether 5-on-5 on the ball side and 1 against 2 on the help side. Possible, why not? Just think about it. Second option is a 5-1 against 7 players. Now, on the ball side, it's a 2-on-2 left back against half defender, center defender, and pivot. Now, this is not a 2-on-2 in the depth, it's a 2-on-2 in the width situation with the pivot here, but in general, it's the same. In the 5-1 defense, we can cut the wing. In the 5-1 defense, point defender can divide the court. Half defender on the help side has to come around pivot to avoid position advantage, second dimension. And wing defender again is on the help side in the 1 against 2 situation. So nothing very special. Now, if the point defender is out a little bit, half the attacker cannot pass with the wing, and long distance pass is given to the other side, maybe it's possible to intercept. Why not? Third option we have is a 4-2 against the 7 players. Now we see 2 defenders in the center or inside defending position, 1 against each goalkeeper. Ball with the wing would be perfect. And then 2 point defenders against 3 backcourt players. This is the area we accept the numerical superiority, which is far away from the goal. And still our wing defender can solve it, can give some pressure to the right back player here, so that the one who is free is the right wing now, which is completely far away from the left wing. So by the time the ball is circulated, players in defense move to the other side. So this is still possible too. Try to think about it and try to use it just to give a special element or to give a surprise to opponent's attack. And this is the final conclusion of that whole thing. It starts in the mind of the coaches and the mind of the players. So if you want to win, you have to make the first step. And the first step is not made on the court. The first step is made in the strategy and the tactical elements you use. So your players have to be willing and have to be able to solve the situation 1 against 2. In 7 players, 1 is less, no problem. But from my point of view, this situation is not so bad for the defense, because we need to defend 6 against 5. And in 6 against 5 defense, there's more space given for every player in attack. In 7 against 6, the space is minimized. So why not use the open defense or special system? But must be ready to solve the situation 1 and 2. Must first of all be ready to act and not to react. This is what we said before. And to anticipate what will be the next step of the attackers. Because, as we said, the winning starts in the mind, but losing too. If your players are not ready, if your players are afraid to make mistakes, forget everything we were talking before. You, as a coach, have to convince them that they are ready to fight, that they are ready to solve the situation 1 and 2, that they are ready to act and not to react. Then 7 players in attack must not be a problem for the defense. So thank you very much for your patience and attention. We finish now and go back to the chat. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Very many email addresses delivered here. Okay. So, can a defensive team with numerical disadvantage make a special tactical move to delay the opponent's attack by defending aggressively and drawing maximum 9 meters for the attacking team, thereby giving the referees to give a passive play decision? It is tactically better rather than slowing own team attack and forcing referees be used effectively by the team with less number of players. Yeah, this is what we see very often, if I understand the question correctly. This is what we see very often in attack 5 against 6, that the players in attack are using some tactical elements like a crossing, like a running in, on one side, then they pass the ball to the other side and do the same movement there. So this is something which shows the referees we are doing something, but especially they are not doing this with a high pressure, and they are not doing this with the idea to score. So in that moment, it's tactically orientated to avoid the forewarning signal. But on the other side, then defense must react and do something more open to destroy those tactical moves which are only played just to kill the time. Do you think it's a risky move to change the goalkeeper with the court player in the numerical disadvantage situation, cause more damage to the team? Okay, in a normal situation, 6 against 5, then one or the team in attack can take out the goalkeeper and bring in another court player, so they go to 6 against 6. This is something, it depends on opponent's defense. If they are in a numerical equality, they can for sure score, no problem. In that moment, it's not a risk. Rechange is always a risk, no matter whether it's 7 against 6 or 6 against 6. Okay. Thank you very much. Please show a video of help side pressing defense. Sorry, I don't have it. If I would have it, I would have it integrated in that presentation. I'm sorry that I don't have it. Okay. Which player we can use for second pivot from attacking team if we don't have second pivot? Okay. It's not possible to have only one pivot. Sorry, this is maybe a little bit surprising my answer to you, but think about, if you have only one pivot in your team, how can you make a transition? How can wing player run in? Or how can backcourt player go to second pivot position? If they do this and they don't behave like a pivot and they don't move like a pivot, you don't can use the transition. So every player must be able to work as a pivot, because as a pivot, you have to work as a pivot, and as a backcourt player or wing player, after running in, you have to work as a pivot too. So please educate all your players to play in pivot position. Okay, no questions. Thank you very much. So we can go back to Mr. Mohinder. Take over, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Klaus. I think within a very short time, today 1 hour and 10 minutes, you have explained, I think 80% of handball to our coaches, that how to play when you are 6, how you play when you are 5 in attack, and when the other team is in 7-6 situations. So different situations, different way how to control, how to play when you are much number in attack, when you are less number in defense. So I think our coaches might have enjoyed of this topic. So this is very, very important for us in future of handball, in the world also, because nowadays, as you told, when 2 PPs are playing, it is very difficult for the referees to move and to see who has reacted first and acted first. So very difficult for them, because we need 3 referees now to watch, one especially referee to watch PP, double PP. So thank you very much, Mr. Klaus, for enhancing our knowledge. And I think tomorrow will be the last class. So I request all the participants to come in advance and listen to him, and we will have some thanks words from our federation and our authority. So thank you very much, Mr. Klaus. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye. So dear colleagues, मैं कुछ लोग मीटिंग छोड़ के जा रहे हैं, मैं उनसे फिर रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो चैट बॉक्स में या हमारे मोबाइल में अपना नाम, अपनी मेल आईडी और अपना फोन नंबर प्लीज जरूर छोड़ें, क्योंकि ये हेडक्वार्टर दिल्ली से डिमांड है. दे विल डू समथिंग फॉर द पार्टिसिपेंट्स जिन्होंने 23 दिन से हमारे साथ गुजारा है और अपने कीमती 46 hours approximately spent with us. So now we will brief in Hindi our all 3 coaches. Okay, now I request Mr. Harry to Okay, I'll speak in Hindi now. So as Mr. Klaus Feldman told us, special situations. So he has divided this into 3 parts again. इसने 3 हिस्सों में बांटा है, psychology and strategy, then special situations, then 7th players. So इसने बोला है कि क्लाउस फेल्डमैन ने डिस्क्राइब कि जी आप जब कोई स्पेशल सिचुएशन है वो रूल के हिसाब से उसको अप्लाई करें, यू वर्क आउट ड्यूरिंग द ट्रेनिंग। फिर उसमें कई बार क्या होता है कि आप जो रूल के साथ वो ट्रेनिंग करते हैं वो फ्रूटफुल नहीं होती, वर्कआउट नहीं होता। सो इन दैट बेसिक सिचुएशंस विद 1 प्लेयर लेस और मोर इन अटैक, उसने बोला है कि रिड्यूस्ड इन एक्टिविटी इन डिफेंस, कि जब आप 6 डिफेंस में है और 5 अटैक में है तो जो मूवमेंट ऑफ द डिफेंडर है ये ऑटोमेटिकली स्लो हो जाती है, वो जो गेम के लिए अच्छी नहीं है। क्योंकि जब 5 अटैकर हैं और 6 डिफेंडर हैं तो हमें मालूम है कि ये प्रॉब्लम आएगी इनको, और ये दे डोंट वांट टू लूज द बॉल एंड दे वांट टू किल द टाइम, बिकॉज उनका जो एक प्लेयर है वो 2 मिनट बाहर है। तो जब मूवमेंट स्लो होगी, रोटेशन स्लो होगी, तो डिफेंसिव प्लेयर भी स्लो हो जाता है, उनकी एक्टिविटी जो है वो रिड्यूस हो जाती है स्पीड में। तो फिर उसने बोला है कि जो अटैकिंग टीम है, अगर आपके अटैक के टाइम डिफेंसिव प्लेयर को 2 मिनट्स हुआ है तो उस अटैक में गोल करिए, फिर अपोनेंट टीम को बॉल मिलेगी, यू हैव 1 मोर चांस टू स्कोर ए गोल। आपको 2 गोल कर सकते हैं अगर डिफेंसिव टीम का फाउल है। अगर आपकी टीम का ही फाउल है, अटैक उनके पास है, तो आपको फिर 1 ही मिलेगी। अगर सपोज डिफेंस, आप अटैकिंग टीम में है, आपने कोई फाउल कर दिया, आप डिफेंस में चले गए, तो दूसरी टीम को 2 अटैक मिलेंगे, आपको 1 मिलेगा। सो बेटर कि अगर आप इस सिचुएशन में हैं तो यू कैन स्कोर 2 गोल, बट एवरी टीम ट्राई टू स्कोर मैक्सिमम गोल आल्सो। फिर उसने कुछ सिचुएशंस बताई हैं कि अगर आप लेस में हैं तो उसके पॉइंट हैं कि आप फास्ट खेलेंगे और थोड़ा फाइट होगा, क्योंकि विड्थ में भी आपने ज्यादा डिस्टेंस कवर करना है, और यू हैव टू कम अप टू द 9 मीटर देन गो बैक। सो आपकी स्पीड बढ़ेगी और थोड़ी बहुत आपकी पिवट पे या दूसरे थोड़ा सा जो है वो फाइट रहेगी।
हाँ गुरु भाई।
अगर जो लेस में हैं वो थोड़ा अग्रेसिव खेलेंगे, उनके पास लूज करने के लिए कुछ नहीं होता, क्योंकि उनको मालूम है कि अटैकिंग टीम मच नंबर में है और हमारे ऊपर गोल होना ही है। सो वो ऑल आउट खेलेगी। फिर वो क्या करेगी, अगर हमने कई बार देखा है कि जो टीम 5 प्लेयर से खेलती है डिफेंस में, वो ज्यादा गोल कर देती है उस सस्पेंशन टाइम में, क्योंकि अटैकिंग टीम थोड़ा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस में हो जाती है कि हम तो गोल करके ही हटेंगे। बट द डिफेंसिव टीम टेक रिस्क, वो रिस्क लेती है, बॉल को इंटरसेप्ट करने की ट्राई करती है। और उन्होंने बोला है कि अगर आप लेस में हैं तो आप बॉल साइड इक्वल नंबर रखें। बॉल साइड आप इक्वल नंबर रखेंगे तो जिस साइड बॉल नहीं है उधर 1-2 सिचुएशन रखिए कि 1 डिफेंडर 2 अटैकर। जैसे लेफ्ट विंग में बॉल है तो राइट में 1 डिफेंडर रहेगा और वो राइट बैक को भी देखेगा और राइट विंग को भी देखेगा। पॉसिबिलिटी है या नहीं वो नहीं हम कह सकते, उन्होंने जो पढ़ाया उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि अगर आप इस फॉर्मेशन में खेलेंगे, इस सिचुएशन में खेलेंगे, इस वे से खेलेंगे तो आपके ऊपर गोल नहीं होगा। सो चांसेस हैं कि इफ यू विल प्ले फास्ट, यू विल हैव फाइटिंग स्पिरिट, यू विल ट्राई टू इंटरसेप्ट द बॉल, यू विल टेक पार्ट इन द फास्ट ब्रेक, तो पॉसिबिलिटी है कि आप उसी सस्पेंशन टाइम में उनके साथ इक्वल रहें अटैक के साथ। फिर उन्होंने बोला कि अगर आप 5 अटैक में हैं और डिफेंस में 6 हैं तो आप विदाउट पिवट भी खेल सकते हैं, विदाउट विंग भी खेल सकते हैं, विदाउट बैक प्लेयर भी खेल सकते हैं। आप 2-4 अटैकिंग सिस्टम में 1 PP 2 विंग एंड 2 बैक प्लेयर। अगर आप 3-3 से खेलेंगे तो 1 विंग एंड 1 PP और 3 बैक प्लेयर कंस्ट्रक्टिव प्लेयर और 2 विंग प्लेयर विदाउट PP। सो देयर आर 3 वे टू प्ले। सो डिपेंड करता है कि आपने ट्रेनिंग में किस पे वर्कआउट किया है। सो ये जो लेस नंबर है तो इसमें भी आप वर्कआउट कर सकते हैं ट्रेनिंग में। ये फ्री प्ले भी है और फिक्स प्ले भी है। आप इसमें कॉम्बिनेशन भी बना सकते हैं और विदाउट कॉम्बिनेशन भी खेल सकते हैं। फिर उन्होंने बोला है कि डिफेंस में अगर 6 हैं तो आप क्या करेंगे। तो उन्होंने बोला है कि आप अगर डिफेंस में 6 हैं तो आप डिफरेंट वे से खेल सकते हैं। आप विंग को प्रेस कर सकते हैं, कॉम्बाइंड डिफेंस में खेल सकते हैं। जो उनका एक प्लेयर है जो स्ट्रेटजी मेकर है, प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ, सम डिस्टर्बेंस इज कमिंग। सो 5-0+1 भी खेल सकते हैं और 4-0+2 भी खेल सकते हैं कॉम्बाइंड डिफेंस में। ये एडवांस करने से, मैन टू मैन 2 प्लेयर या 1 प्लेयर को करने से उनकी बॉल रोटेशन में प्रॉब्लम आएगी और आपको पैसिव प्ले मिल सकता है। यू कैन गेट द बॉल लिटिल अर्ली टू अटैक। सो ये आपने ध्यान में रखना है। दूसरा, आप 4-1-1 डिफेंसिव सिस्टम में भी खेल सकते हैं टू ट्रैप द बॉल। फिर उन्होंने बोला है कि अगर आप 5-6 में हैं, डिफेंस में 5 हैं, 6 हैं, तो शिफ्ट द बॉल वन पोजीशन टू वन साइड टू अनदर साइड। 5-0 भी खेल सकते हैं, 4-1 भी खेल सकते हैं, 3-2 भी खेल सकते हैं। सो देयर आर डिफरेंट वे टू, डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस, डिफरेंट सिस्टम टू प्ले। उसमें क्या होगा कि ये सारी चीजें ऑन कोर्ट उस टाइम नहीं आएंगी कि अगर आप गए, आपने बोला प्लेयरों को ऐसा कर दो, ऐसा खेल लो, वो उनके समझ में नहीं आएगा। आपको ड्यूरिंग ट्रेनिंग और जिस टूर्नामेंट में आप खेलने जा रहे हैं, जैसे हम लोग नेशनल खेलने जाते हैं, सैफ गेम खेलते हैं, साउथ एशियन चैंपियनशिप खेलते हैं, IHF ट्रॉफी खेलते हैं, एशियन गेम खेलते हैं, एशियन चैंपियनशिप, तो हमें उसी हिसाब से वर्कआउट करना है हमारे प्लेयरों को भी कि हमने किन किन टीमों से खेलना है, कौन कौन की टीम का स्टैंडर्ड कैसे है, और उसी हिसाब से हम अपनी टीम को प्रिपेयर करेंगे। और हम ये भी देखेंगे कि जो 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 फास्ट टीम में हैं वो ज्यादा सस्पेंशन लेती हैं, जो स्लोअर डिफेंडर हैं, जिनकी मूवमेंट स्लो है, वो जाते जाते पंगा ले लेता है, 2 मिनट्स बाहर हो जाता है। तो हमेशा हमें जो डेली 1 आवर विद लेस नंबर इन डिफेंस जो है वो ट्रेनिंग करनी चाहिए कि अगर हम डिफेंस में ट्रेनिंग कर लेंगे 1 लेस, अगर वो 7 प्लेयर से भी खेलें फिर भी हमारा 1 लेस रहता है। सो इफ with the 5 defender we can control the 6 player, so it will be easy for us to control 7 player when we are in a 6 in defense. So we have to work out during the training, not during the competition. Then we have some matches, domestic matches, in that we can implement and we can judge. फिर उसने कहा कि जब 7th प्लेयर से खेलते हैं तो ये जो 7 प्लेयर हम टीम जो है गोलकीपर को बाहर निकाल देती है, कोच कहता है जी मुझे 7 से खेलना है, तो क्यों खेलना है, व्हेन टू यूज। उसने 4 सिचुएशन बताई हैं कि अगर आप 6 against 6 गोल नहीं कर रहे हैं, डिफेंसिव टीम इज मोर अग्रेसिव, ऑफेंसिव डिफेंस खेल रही है जिसके अगेंस्ट हमने काम नहीं किया हुआ अपनी ट्रेनिंग में, या विदाउट कैंप वी वेंट फॉर चैंपियनशिप, तो हमारे जो प्लेयर हैं वो नए हैं, उन्होंने ये नहीं सीखा, एक्सपीरियंस कम है, तो हम 7 से खेलेंगे टू गेट मोर गैप एंड देयर विल बी ए 1 प्लेयर विदाउट बॉल। सो उसने बोला है कि एक डबल पीपी भी खेलेगा, इसमें खेल सकता है। और उसने कुछ वीडियोस दिखाई, क्रोएशिया की दिखाई, उसने मैकेडोनिया की दिखाई, और उसने स्पेन की टीम के बारे में बताया कि हाउ दे प्ले, डबल पीपी से खेलते हैं। और आप अपनी भी कोई स्टैंडर्ड सिचुएशन, कोई कॉम्बिनेशन को डेवलप कर सकते हैं विद योर ओन ब्रेन बाय वाचिंग द मूवमेंट ऑफ द डिफेंसिव प्लेयर। जब डिफेंस 5-1 से खेल रहा है, या 6-0 से खेल रहा है, या 4-2 से खेल रहा है, हमें उनके बारे में नहीं मालूम वो कैसे खेलेंगे, मगर हमें तीनों डिफेंसिव सिस्टम के हिसाब से अपने 7 प्लेयर की मूवमेंट जो है वो एग्जीक्यूट करनी है, और हमारा मेन एम है कि हमने गोल करना है। तो दूसरा उसने बोला है प्रॉब्लम अगेंस्ट ऑफेंसिव डिफेंस। जब वो सडनली जोन डिफेंस खेल रहे हैं और उनकी टीम 1 गोल से हार रही है, टाइम कम है, तो वो ऑफेंसिव डिफेंस जब करते हैं तो हमारे जो बैक प्लेयर हैं उनके लिए प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है। एक तो वो अटैकिंग जोन से बाहर चले जाते हैं, और हमारे विंगर जो हैं वो रन फ्री नहीं करते सर्कल के ऊपर। तो उस सिचुएशन में कोच जो है अगर टाइम आउट बचा है तो ले लेता, नहीं वो वर्कआउट किया हुआ तो 7th प्लेयर अंदर जाएगा। अगर वो टीम ऑफेंसिव डिफेंस खेल रही है तो हमारे जो गेम होगी वो 4 वर्सेस 3 हो जाएगी 9 मीटर पे। लेट देम प्ले एडवांस, आइदर दे विल गो बैक और दे विल प्ले विद द सेम डिफेंसिव सिस्टम। अगर हमारे को 1 प्लेयर ऐड करने से एडवांटेज हो जाएगा, पोजीशन एडवांटेज भी हो जाएगा और गैप में बॉल वाला प्लेयर जाएगा, तो हो सकता है विंग प्लेयर और पिवट प्लेयर जो है वन ऑफ देम विल बी फ्री। सो तीसरा उसने बोला है कि हम हार रहे हैं 2 गोल से, तो रिस्क जो है, रिस्क वेरिएशन, ये बहुत जरूरी है। अगर आप 1 गोल से हार रहे हैं तो हमें इक्वल करना है। अगर हम बराबर खेल रहे हैं और लास्ट अटैक है, हमारे पास बॉल है, तो हम 7th प्लेयर लेके उस मैच को विन कर सकते हैं। 30 सेकंड, 40 सेकंड्स आर लेफ्ट, मे बी 1 मिनट इज लेफ्ट। अगर हम 6 से खेलेंगे, हमारा गोल नहीं हुआ, तो बॉल उनके पास चली जाएगी। वो हो सकता है 15-20 सेकंड में वो जाके गोल कर दे, हम 1 गोल से हार जाए। सो फर्स्टली इफ वी हैव ball possession in the last minutes, so we can try to win by putting 7th player. अब जैसे हमारे एक पार्टिसिपेंट ने जो क्वेश्चन किया था कि अगर हमारे पास पीपी 8, सो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सिलेक्शन, आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ टैलेंट, सिलेक्शन ऑफ टीम में हम 2 प्लेयर सभी पोजीशन पे रखते हैं। तो अगर हम ऐसे करेंगे, प्लीज स्विच ऑफ योर मोबाइल, प्लीज स्विच ऑफ योर please don't talk, don't disturb. So in that case also we can use the 7th player, we can take risk. Attack system उसने बोला है कि we can use the defensive defense with less player, है कि अगर 7वां प्लेयर, तो उसमें से जो प्ले मेकर है या सबसे इंटेलिजेंट प्लेयर है, जिसको हम डिसीजन मेकर बोलते हैं, कि जो बॉल को रोटेट करता है और वो कंक्लूडिंग प्लेयर को बॉल देता है, उसको हम एडवांस ले लेंगे। उसको हम ट्राई करेंगे कि एक डिफेंसिव प्लेयर उसको एलिमिनेट करे, कि उनका जो इनिशिएटिव लेने वाला प्लेयर है, जो कॉम्बिनेशन में करने की करेंगे, जिससे क्या होगा, उनका जो अटैक है वो डिलेड हो जाएगा और वो उस मुकाम पर नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे जो उनको अचीव होना था। सो तीसरा लास्ट में उसने बोला है कि आपके अगेंस्ट अगर गोल हो जाता है, तो उनको इतना टाइम नहीं देना कि उनका एक प्लेयर बाहर चला जाए, 7th प्लेयर कोई भी, और गोलकीपर अंदर आ जाए। वी हैव टू गो फॉर क्विक थ्रो ऑफ, जिसको रैपिड प्ले बोलते हैं हमारी इंडियन उसमें वोकेबुलरी में। तो वो क्विक थ्रो ऑफ जो है वो हमने करना है। उससे क्या होगा, व्हेन वी स्कोर 1 or 2 goals in a whole match, then the team of the opponent will think to put 7 player or not। ये हम उनको सोचने के लिए मजबूर कर देंगे उनको, कोच को। जैसे कि आपने देखा होगा कि चाहे वो सैफ गेम ही था, इट वाज नॉट ए गुड मैच, नॉट टफ मैच, इंडिया वर्सेस नेपाल इन द वुमेन सेक्शन। जो नेपाल का कोच था, उसने सभी मैचेस, चाहे वो बांग्लादेश है, श्रीलंका है, पाकिस्तान है, सभी मैचों में उसने डबल पीपी खिलाया, वो 6 से खेला ही नहीं। तो जब वो इंडिया से आया, तो हमारे गोल कीपर ने या कोर्ट प्लेयर ने 2-3 बार जब थ्रो किए, तो वो ठंडा होके बैठ गया और 10-12 गोल की लीड हो गई, तो मैच आराम से चलता रहा। सो वी हैव टू थिंक, वी हैव टू स्कोर 2 or 3 goals against the opponent team which is playing with 7 court players. So मोस्टली उसने जो कवर किया है वो बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से, विद स्लो वीडियो, एंड वी अंडरस्टूड। हमें नहीं लगता कि किसी को वो समझ नहीं आया। हम भी वो बातें डेली रूटीन में करते हैं, बट वो उसने जो पॉइंट वाइज पॉइंट हमें बताया, तो वो बहुत ही अच्छा लगा और वेरी इजी मेथड से उसने हमें ये जो है एक्सप्लेन किया। सो हम उसका थैंक्स करते हैं कि उसने जो भी क्लासें ली हमारी आज तक 22, इट वाज गुड। एंड कल का लास्ट होगा, तो मैं अभी सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं कि कल थोड़ा सा पेशेंस बनाएं। तो हम इनका जो लेक्चर है वो 5 उसमें, या दिल्ली से हेडक्वार्टर से डीजी या सेक्रेटरी साई कुछ बोलें। सो विद दीज वर्ड्स आई थैंक्स ऑल। ओके, before I leave this meeting, I request Mr. CP Singh to add something if he is having some idea. Over to CP Singh.
Thanks, Mr. Mender. आवाज आ रही है ना? आवाज आ रही है? Okay. So Mr. Mender has explained everything in a very बिटवीन फास्ट ब्रेक एंड द रैपिड प्ले। मैं उसी को थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करूंगा, बट 2-3 पॉइंट मैं आज के इसमें लेसन में भी टॉपिक में ऐड करना चाहता हूँ। स्पेशल सिचुएशन मीन्स यूजुअली हैंडबॉल में 3 सिचुएशन है, इक्वल सिचुएशन, इक्वल न्यूमेरिकल इक्वलिटी, सुपीरियरिटी एंड इन्फीरियरिटी, जिसको हम लेस नंबर और आउट नंबर में बोलते हैं। तो उन्हें इन्हीं 4 सिचुएशंस को इकट्ठा किया है। डिफेंस में भी 2 सिचुएशन होंगी, व्हेन वी आर प्लेइंग विद लेस नंबर और व्हेन वी आर प्लेइंग विद मोर नंबर। सेम सिचुएशन अटैक में होती हैं, जहाँ पे आप 1 या 2 प्लेयर से ज्यादा खेलते हैं या 1 या 2 प्लेयर से कम खेलते हैं। तो उस सिचुएशन में आपकी टीम की क्या टैक्टिक्स होगी, तो उसने एक्सप्लेन किया है कि डिफरेंट में। बट मैं सिर्फ आप अटैक में बात करता हूँ, क्योंकि यूजुअली हम अटैक पे जोर देते हैं। तो अटैक में जब आपका पास मोर नंबर ऑफ प्लेयर हैं, तो उसमें 2 चीजें हमें यूज करनी चाहिए मैक्सिमम, दैट इज द पेशेंस ऑफ द प्लेयर्स एंड ए टैक्टिकल डिसिप्लिन। हमने सिर्फ ध्यान ये रखना कि हमारे पास 2 मिनट में मैक्सिमम कितने गोल कर सकते हैं। मैक्सिमम 2 गोल अगर हम बॉल को प्रॉपरली सर्कुलेट करें। तो यहाँ पे एक वर्ड यूज करते हैं, टैक्टिकल डिसिप्लिन मीन्स टू मेक प्रॉपर पास एट राइट टाइम टू द राइट पर्सन। ओके, जैसे ही अगर आपने बॉल पोजीशन लूज किया तो बॉल दूसरी टीम के पास चली जाएगी, वो लेस नंबर में है। तो लेस नंबर में डिफेंस का एक ही एम है, टू किल द टाइम, दे विल कंज्यूम द टाइम। वो टाइम को मैक्सिमम पास करने की कोशिश करेंगे। तो आप किस टैक्टिक्स से खेलेंगे, कौन 2 पीपीज को यूज करेंगे या जिस सिस्टम से आप खेल रहे हैं उसी को यूज करेंगे, ये आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। बट उससे पहले आपको अपने टीम की स्ट्रेंथ देखनी है कि क्या स्ट्रेंथ है आपके पास, कि वो फास्ट पासिंग करेंगे, फास्ट मूवमेंट्स करेंगे, या डबल पीपीज के साथ करेंगे, या विंग्स को यूटिलाइज करेंगे। ऐसे ही डिफेंस में आप ऑफेंसिव डिफेंस खेलना चाहेंगे या आप सिस्टम जोन डिफेंस खेलना चाहेंगे, वो सारी आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा। बट यहाँ पे सिचुएशन के हिसाब से हमें मूवमेंट्स करना है, पेशेंस, tactical patience, and everybody has to rely on that and coordination of the players। मैं आज के टॉपिक में सिर्फ इतना ही ऐड करना चाहता था। रही बात के व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन फास्ट ब्रेक एंड द रैपिड प्ले। रैपिड प्ले को उन्होंने जो हम टर्म यूज करते हैं वो रैपिड प्ले है, बट बाहर बोलते हैं उसको फास्ट थ्रो ऑफ। फास्ट ब्रेक क्या है कि फास्ट ब्रेक आप रनिंग गेम में दोनों का एम सिर्फ यही कि हमने मिनिमम टाइम में क्विकली अटैक करना है। जब आपके सामने डिफेंस डिसऑर्गेनाइज्ड है, वो ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वे में नहीं है, आपको एडवांटेज है आपके प्लेयर्स का, या न्यूमेरिकल एडवांटेज वहां पे होता है, गैप में गोल मारने की पॉसिबिलिटीज होती हैं मिनिमम टाइम में, चाहे वो रैपिड प्ले हो चाहे वो फास्ट ब्रेक हो। अब इनका डिफरेंस क्या है कि फास्ट ब्रेक जो है वो रनिंग गेम में होगा। जैसे बॉल आपने इंटरसेप्ट किया है, जैसे वहां पे बॉल का वायलेशन हो गया तो आपको फ्री थ्रो मिली है, या गोलकीपर ने बॉल को गेम को डिफेंड किया है, या बॉल साइड लाइन से बाहर चली गई है, तो उस गेम में जब गेम स्टार्ट होगा तो हमें रेफरी की विसल की इंतजार नहीं करनी है। बट रैपिड प्ले या फास्ट थ्रो क्या होगा, वो होता है हमेशा आफ्टर कंसीडिंग ए गोल। जब आपके ऊपर गोल हो जाएगा, आपकी टीम के ऊपर गोल हो जाएगा, तो उसमें यूजुअली 3 सिचुएशन देखते हैं। नंबर 1 कि जब जिस प्लेयर ने गोल मारा है वो कई बार क्या होता है कि गोल मारने के बाद थोड़ा शो ऑफ करता है और धीरे धीरे जाने की कोशिश करता है। तो उस सिचुएशन में गोलकीपर कितना क्विकली, कितना जल्दी बॉल को उठा के अपने प्लेयर को सेंटर लाइन के ऊपर पास करेगा। क्योंकि यहाँ पे अब फर्क कितना क्या कि फास्ट ब्रेक में जो गेम स्टार्ट होना था वो रेफरी की विसल से नहीं है। यहाँ पे आफ्टर कंसीडिंग ए गोल, मैच रिज्यूम कब होगा, जब स्टार्ट होगा, जब रेफरी विसल वहां पे बजाएगा। तो गोल कंसीड होने के बाद, गोल होने के बाद गोलकीपर कितना क्विकली बॉल को उठा के अपने टीममेट को देगा। एक सिचुएशन मैंने बताया कि कई बार क्या होता है कि जो गोल मारने वाला प्लेयर है थोड़ा सा स्लो हो जाएगा। दूसरी सिचुएशन क्या होती है अगर हम उसको एनालाइज करें, तो जब कोई भी डिफेंसिव टीम, अब आप अटैक पर हैं, जो जिसने टीम ने गोल किया है वो कई बार सब्स्टिट्यूशन करते हैं, तो उस केस में थोड़ा एक एडवांटेज आपको मिल जाता है कि वहां से प्लेयर अंदर आएगा। थर्ड एक सिचुएशन क्या होती है कि कई बार जो टीम गोल मारने के बाद है वो धीरे धीरे जाते हैं। अब ये इम्पैक्ट है सारा रूल का, क्योंकि आज से कुछ साल पहले तक 2010 से पहले ये था कि गोल होने के बाद दोनों टीमें अपने अपने हाफ में पहुंचेंगी, तब रेफरी गेम स्टार्ट करेगा। तो अब उस चीज को खत्म करने के लिए कई बार क्या था कि कुछ टीमें टाइम कंज्यूम करती थी, एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती थी टीम को गोल मारने के लिए, तो रूल चेंज क्या हुआ कि जो टीम गोल मारेगी, जो डिफेंस पे है, वो कहीं पे भी हो सकते हैं प्लेयर उसके सारे, जरूरी नहीं कि वो अपने हाफ में आएंगे, बट अटैकिंग प्लेयर वो अपने हाफ में रहेंगे, ये आप सभी को मालूम है। तो उस केस में कुछ टीम गोल मारने के बाद धीरे धीरे बातें करते हैं, कुछ करते हैं, तो उस सिचुएशन का एडवांटेज लेने के लिए भी क्विकली गोलकीपर बॉल को कलेक्ट करके, एक प्लेयर आपका सेंटर लाइन के पास होगा, उसको पास करेगा, एंड देन रेफरी टू ब्लो द विसल। अब यहाँ पे 3 फैक्टर इन्वॉल्व हैं। नंबर 1 इज हाउ क्विकली गोलकीपर कलेक्ट द बॉल एंड ही पास द बॉल। अब उस टीम का प्लेयर वहां पे सेंटर लाइन पे होना चाहिए, बिकॉज द गेम विल स्टार्ट विद द रेफरीज विसल। अब थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है रेफरी की अटेंटिवनेस। अब उसको रेफरी को ये भी वॉच करना है कि वो प्लेयर वहां पे चला गया और आपको गेम स्टार्ट करना है। अब कई बार हम बोलते हैं ना कि आपने गोल लिखना है या ये करना है, बट इन केस ही हैज टू बी मोर अटेंटिव, फर्स्ट ही हैज टू स्टार्ट द मैच। और अब वो आपका क्विकली थ्रो हो जाएगा, या जिसको हम रैपिड प्ले बोलते हैं। प्ले मीन्स द गेम विल स्टार्ट आफ्टर द विसल। आई थिंक नाउ इट्स वेरी क्लियर, दिस वाज द ओनली डिफरेंस। और दोनों की एम ही एम दोनों का ही है कि क्विकली हमने ओपोनेंट्स के गोल पोस्ट के पास जाना है और गोल मारने की कोशिश करनी है। सो आई थिंक इट्स क्लियर नाउ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। नाउ ओवर टू मिस्टर Menderlal. Mender.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. CP Singh ji. You have already cleared the doubt of yesterday's some post inquiry, and today you have also explained with your own ideas. And I think our participants must have listened to them and rectified their mistakes. So now again, I request all the participants before leaving कि भाई आप अपना नाम, अपना मोबाइल फोन और अपना मेल आईडी चैट बॉक्स में डाल दें, या हमारे मोबाइल में जो हमारा व्हाट्सएप नंबर है उस पर डाल दें, ताकि ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन हम हेडक्वार्टर को भेज दें। और जो आपके लिए उन्होंने मांगी है, दे आर डूइंग समथिंग फॉर यू पीपल। Once again, I request you to please put today or tomorrow, so that we can, those who are not able to put, please just put on chat box and send via WhatsApp. So we will send it to headquarter. So headquarter DG Saab, they want to do something for you people, maybe some certificates, some other incentives. So please do it today or tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last day. Please don't forget to give your name, your mail ID and phone number. Good day. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow last class. So we will have some presentation for 5 to 10 minutes with DG Saab or ED Saab or President Secretary of the Handball Federation of India. So thank you. Have a good day. Now we are leaving the meeting. Thank you.